Hello students, welcome to my channel. Today we are reading the 3 questions written by Leo Tolstoy, which is included in the syllabus of class 7 of CBSE board and class 12 of West Bengal Council of Higher Secondary Education. Before going to main piece, we should know about the author, Leo Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy was a great philosopher. He was a great novelist who wrote War and Peace and Anna Karenina. So, he presented this piece philosophically here. Before going to main piece, we must learn meaning of some words. Okay students, now we are going through the 3 questions written by Leo Tolstoy. It once occurred to a certain king that if he always knew the right time to begin everything, if he knew who are the right people to listen to and whom to avoid, and above all, if he always knew what was the most important thing to do, he would never fail in anything he might undertake. Once a thought came to a king that if he knew what was the right time to begin everything, who were the right people whom he should listen to and whom he should avoid, and above all, what was the most important thing to do, his life will be successful. And this thought having occurred to him, he had it proclaimed throughout his kingdom that he would give a great reward to anyone who would teach him what was the right time for every action, and who were the most necessary people, and how he might know what was the most important thing to do. So he announced throughout his kingdom that he would give a great reward to any person who would give the right answer of these 3 questions. The 3 questions are: what was the right time for every action? Who were the most necessary people? And what was the right thing to do for him? And learned men came to the king, but they all answered his questions differently. So many learned men came to the king, but they answered very differently. In reply to the first question, some said that to know the right time for every action, one must draw up in advance a table of days, months and years, and must live strictly according to it. So, in reply to the first question, some people said that to know the right time for every action, one must make a plan in advance, and one must live strictly or must follow this according to it. Only thus, said they, could everything be done at its proper time. Others declared that it was impossible to decide beforehand the right time for every action, but not letting oneself be absorbed in idle pastime, one should always attend to all that was going on and then do what was most needful. Others declared that it was impossible to decide the right time for every action beforehand. But others again said that, however attentive the king might be to what was going on, it was impossible for one man to decide correctly the right time for every action, but that he should have a council of wise men who would help him to fix the proper time for everything. And others suggested that, however attentive the king might be to what was going on, it was not possible for one man to decide correctly the right time for every action. So, he should have a council of wise men. Here, council means a group of people chosen to give advice or to make rules. But then again others said there were some things which could not wait to be laid before a council, but about which one had at once to decide whether to undertake them or not. According to many people, it was not possible for everything to wait for a decision for a council, because if any time any other country attacked or any other country attacks the king's country, then it is not possible to wait for a decision for a council. One should need to take a decision at that very moment. But in order to decide that, one must know beforehand what was going to happen. So one should know what is going on. According to some people, it is only magicians who know that, and therefore in order to know the right time for every action, one must consult magicians. According to some people, only magicians know what is the right time. So in order to know the right time, one should consult only magicians. Equally various were the answers to the second question. Some said the people the king most needed were his counselors. So accordingly, for the second question, some said counselors were his most necessary persons. Others, the priests. Others said that the king's most necessary person was or were the priests. Others, the doctors. While some said the warriors were the most necessary. Some said the doctors were the most necessary persons, while others said the warriors were the most necessary persons, because when other country attacked his country, warriors saved him, or when the king fell ill, the doctors saved his life, so the doctors were his most necessary persons, etc., etc. To the third question, as to what was the most important occupation, some replied that the most important thing in the world was science. Others said it was skill in warfare, and others again that it was religious worship. So to the third question, some said the most important thing was science. Some others said it was skill in warfare, and others said it was religious worship. All the answers being different, the king agreed with none of them and gave the reward to none. As the answers of the three questions were different, so the king was satisfied with none. So he gave the reward none of the learned men. But still wishing to find the right answers to his questions, he decided to consult a hermit, widely renowned for his wisdom. But he still wished to find the right answers to his questions, and he decided to consult a hermit who lived in a wood. The hermit lived in a wood which he never quitted, and he received none but common folk. The hermit lived in a wood or lived in a forest which he never quitted, and he received only common folk. So the king put on simple clothes, and before reaching the hermit's cell, dismounted from his horse, and leaving his bodyguard behind, went on alone. As the hermit met only common folk, the king put on simple clothes to meet the hermit, and before reaching the hermit's cell, he dismounted from his horse and leaving his bodyguard behind, and he also went on alone. When the king approached, the hermit was digging. When the king approached, the hermit was digging the ground in front of his hut. So when the king reached there, the hermit was digging the ground in front of his hut. Seeing the king, he greeted him and went on digging. The hermit was frail and weak, and each time he stuck his spade into the ground and turned a little earth. The hermit was weak, the hermit was frail. As the hermit was frail and weak, when he stuck his spade into the ground, each time he turned a little earth, and he breathed heavily. The king went up to him and said, "I have come to you, wise hermit, to ask you to answer 3 questions." The king went up to the hermit and he asked the hermit the answer of 3 questions. How can I learn to do the right thing at the right time? Who are the people I most need, and to whom should I therefore pay more attention to the rest? And what affairs are the most important and need my first attention? So the king here asked the 3 questions. How can I learn to do the right thing at the right time? Who are the people I most need, and to whom should I pay more attention than to the rest? And what affairs are the most important and need my first attention? That is the same question. What is the right time to do everything? Who are the most necessary persons for everyone? Or what is the most important thing to do? The hermit listened to the king but answered nothing. He just spat on his hand and recommenced digging. "You are tired," said the king. "Let me take the spade and work a while for you." The hermit listened to the king but answered nothing. The king said, "You are tired. Let me take the spade and work a while for you." "Thanks," said the hermit. and giving the spade to the king, he sat down on the ground. When he had dug 2 beds, the king stopped and repeated his questions. The king repeated the questions. The hermit again gave no answer, but rose, stretched out his hand for the spade, and said, "Now rest a while and let me work a bit." The king asked the question, but the hermit again gave no answer and asked to rest a while. But the king did not give him the spade and continued to dig. 1 hour passed and another. The sun began to sink behind the trees, and the king at last stuck the spade into the ground and said, "I came to you, wise man, for an answer to my questions. If you can give me none, tell me so, and I will return home." So the king again said to the hermit, "I came to you, wise man, for an answer to my questions. If you can give me none, if you give me no answer, tell me so, and I will return home." "Here comes someone running," said the hermit. "Let us see who it is." So the hermit said, Someone is coming here. Let us see who it is." So students, today up to this, I hope you all have understood this portion. If you have any doubt regarding this portion, you can ask me in the comment section. I will teach you the next part of this lesson in my next video. So stay tuned.